What is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Abwon, and this is yet another edition of Before You Watch spoiler-free reviews. I feel like my last few reviews were just for Marvel films. I could be wrong though, but my last overall review was for X-Men and Dark Phoenix. Go check that out, or don't if you don't want to. It doesn't matter. And I haven't put out another video on my channel in maybe a few weeks now, but I'm back. That's all that really matters. If this is your first time tuning in, I do spoiler-free reviews for all types of films on all platforms. So definitely subscribe and hit that notification bell. But I'm back with another Marvel review, and this time it's for Spider-Man Far From Home, the official end of Phase 3. Phase 3? Phase 3. So when Spider-Man Homecoming initially came out, I did a rant/review for my face-to-face series on it. Definitely go check that out. I had some issues with the film like a lot of other people out here, but I saw the vision. I saw where MCU would potentially take it. And after watching Far From Home, that direction is extremely clear. If you haven't seen Infinity War, I'm sorry, I'm about to just give you spoilers. Tony Stark / Iron Man is dead, and he handpicks Spider-Man / Peter Parker to take the reins and lead the Avengers. Now, at this point in time, Spider-Man as a character is really not very developed, so obviously he's not really ready. But 4 years from now, when we're, midway through Phase 4, we could see a completely different character in terms of development, and I think that's where the MCU is going. I could be wrong. Somebody else may come up through the ranks like Black Panther or Doctor Strange, or some new character may be introduced. Who knows? But right now, it's seeming like it's Spider-Man. So the first thing about this movie that I definitely want to talk about is the humor. The movie is funny as hell. It is very contemporary as well. Spider-Man, in the comic books, when he used to take pictures of himself, he used to use the spider web to basically web a camera to like the side of a building or something and then take pictures. Nah, it's 2019. He ain't about that life anymore. This guy's taking selfies with his smartphone. So the movie's hilarious. The dynamic between him and Mary Jane, played by Zendaya, I think that's how you pronounce it, that chemistry is real. The chemistry between him and his friend is also very real too. All of the characters really play well off of each other, even if they're just kind of corny. Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson, this guy, every Avengers film that he's in, he just screams OG, like I belong here. And this movie is no different. Like, when you see him on the screen, he means business. He has a couple one-liners that had me dying. Samuel L. Jackson's just the man. Nick Fury's just the man. After that, the visuals. It's an MCU film, Disney, whatever may have you. The visuals are top-notch. I really can't say too much about it. Some parts, the CGI looks really good. Some parts it's blatant CGI, but it's meant to be that way. I can't really say it or to spoil it for you. There's a scene in the film where Peter Parker and Jake Gyllenhaal are in a bar together. Just keep that in mind when you do see the movie. When you see that particular scene, that's when you know the movie's about to turn up, because this movie's essentially divided up into two parts. The first half of the movie is, it's entertaining, but it's kind of cheesy. It was kind of lame at some parts. I was kind of disinterested, but the second half of the movie, they turn it around completely. It's a lot more serious. It's way more action-packed, and Spider-Man pretty much dominates the movie. The second half shows Spider-Man in a completely new light, because Homecoming, I feel like they kind of made him out to be a chump, like he needed Tony Stark. But in this one, there's just some scenes where they really just showcase his agility, his strength, his spider senses. They just showcase him as a hero. Even though his villain isn't really that prominent, everything that he has to go through in terms of saving the civilians, saving the day, defeating the villain and defeating the enemy, and still conforming to the Avengers rules. It's just so dope the way it played out, man. Like, the second half of the movie, I was locked in. I was completely locked in. But this movie does have its downsides. One, I really do feel like they should have added another villain. Even though the one villain that they do have that reveals himself, he does a fantastic job. But I feel like if they would have had a more prominent villain, someone bigger, that may come around in the third movie. Who knows? If they would have had another one, the movie would have been a lot bolder. The background music, oh my gosh! Even when the movie kicks up, the background music it just sounds like throwaway superhero music. It's nothing groundbreaking. Like when you watch Endgame and Infinity War, the music sets the tone. And this film, not so much. It just seems really corny, very sci-fi network-ish. It just doesn't seem like a big budget action film. The music definitely does not set the tone. Also, the movie can be a little predictable, but that's to be expected. I mean, we've seen it all before. And at first, they don't really speak too much on the villain. They don't really speak too much on what he can do, but all of the questions that you do have, you pretty much get them an hour and a half into the movie. It just sucks that you have to wait that long to get there. But outside of those things, I didn't really have anything negative to say about it. There are things during the credits. They have two parts, two scenes. There's one maybe 5 minutes into the credits. That's a really important scene. And then they have another one at the very end of the credits. And that one is kind of important too, but not really. You could probably dig a little deep in there. You'll probably see some conspiracy theories online speaking about it. But just so you know, don't leave the theater after this movie. You're not going to see a cameo from, Black Panther 2 or Omega Red or Wolverine or anything like that. But it's definitely something to see. I had a great time watching this film. Tom Holland, I'm really not big on him as Spider-Man. But for right now, I think he's sufficient. Andrew Garfield is my favorite one. But it is what it is. Those movies aren't as well done as this one, but I feel like Tom Holland was basically anointed this position as Spider-Man. He basically inherited this franchise. I mean, the MCU and Disney aren't going to let him fail. So, with that being said, I'm going to give this movie an 8.5. It's definitely better than Captain Marvel. It's not as good as Endgame. I think it's up there with maybe Doctor Strange. It's not better than Black Panther, but it's probably up there with Doctor Strange. And Doctor Strange is one of my favorite Marvel movies, MCU films. So definitely check it out. Definitely check it out, man. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you thought. Maybe you feel like Homecoming is the better movie. Maybe you're tired of Spider-Man. You're waiting for the sequel to Venom. Maybe you're a Captain Marvel fan. Maybe you're a Captain Falcon fan, and you're just like, I really don't care about Spider-Man. Just let me know. Holla at me. All my social media links will be in the description. And make sure you subscribe to my Cinematics channel, man. We talk about all things film. Film reviews, got live synopses, things like that, live trailers and all of that. We talk about all things film. So make sure you subscribe to that channel as well. I'm about to get out of here, man. Until next time, peace.